Kimora Simmons has found success in the fashion industry and beyond. After a successful stint as a runway model, the entrepreneur oversaw Baby Fat's growth to a billion-dollar brand, as well as her own line of clothing. She's tackled TV, perfumes, and a line of self-help books. And now she's teaming up with the United Nations to help other women become entrepreneurs.
Your rise in the fashion industry seems effortless, but looking back with the impact of brands like Baby Fat and your impact on casual wear, what was that journey like?
Well, I think for me, it has been about, because I started so young. I started in the fashion industry at 12, 13 as a model, and then I went sort of behind the scenes as a designer and a creative director in my early 20s, and I created a billion-dollar brand by the time I was 22. It's embracing those same ideas of innovation, right? Doing something that hadn't been done at the time. Oftentimes I was kind of pigeonholed into a certain look, a certain type, a certain branded, labeled a certain way. Even in terms of fashion, it was a whole idea then of was it called urban fashion? And I had a real problem with that, because to me fashion is universal and it speaks a universal language. I didn't want to be pigeonholed. I was always fighting, these labels. And so I think that idea of innovation, because really what it was, right, was providing something and doing something at a time that it wasn't being done, and it wasn't being done in that way.
Which is why you've been such a big supporter of female entrepreneurs. What inspired you to get involved with the UN Women's Summit?
It's very important for me to be here today and to be part of UN Women. It's a global women's initiative of sorts, and it's about innovation and change and technologies, and something that's near and dear to my heart. I come here as an ambassador for the Unmentionables organization. So I think it's always important to have a continued conversation around these topics, how to get women more involved, how to be more involved, how to be represented at the higher levels in companies worldwide, how to get in on the ground level and work and build our way to the top.
Is there anything left on your bucket list?
I have so many hopes and dreams, and I think it's always, for me, based around being an entrepreneur and being a voice for so many that are not necessarily always seen and heard. Philanthropy is big for me. Business expansion, lots of investments that I am involved in, and startups that I fund. I love being busy. I'm also a mom. I have 4 kids, so I'm a working mom and an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. I wear so many hats. So I think that all of that is what drives me to continue on. And when people say, you inspire me so much, or I follow your story, or I'm so proud of you, and there are people that maybe you've never met before, to me that determines your success. That's a great a feeling and a great honor. And certainly to be here today, for example, is one of those things that's on my business or life bucket list, if you would, to be able to champion the roles and the rights of women and people of color everywhere. I think that's just a lot of fun and super inspirational for me.